My name is Chirag Dhull. I'm from Chainlink Labs, and today we'll be talking about is LLM aggregation a myth or a reality? Or in simpler terms, how much of AI can be decentralized, what are the use cases, and its pros and cons. So first, before jumping in, let's do some quick intros. So I was saying, I'm Chirag Dhull. I've been with Chainlink Labs for 4 years. Before that, I was at AWS and Microsoft working on multiple machine learning and IoT products. Chi?
Hello, everyone. I'm Chi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kai AI, and Kai AI is building the first purpose-built layer 1 blockchain for AI. And my background comes from more the AI and data space. So I did my PhD from UC Berkeley, focused on machine learning and causal, and then started my career as a founding member at an automated machine learning company, and then joined Databricks to lead the product management for their data engineering solutions, and now Kite.
Hey everyone, I'm Nalin. I lead Web3 product at Google Cloud. I've been with Google for about 8 years and joined the Web3 team about 3 years ago. So we're building developer infrastructure, data and services for Web3 builders. So node infrastructure, indexed data into BigQuery. We have a great faucet. A lot of you probably have used that. And we're just trying to build all of the things that developers need, and also working closely with protocols that need developer infrastructure. I've been involved in crypto since 2013, and I'm based in the Bay Area.
Awesome. Great to have you both. So the stakes for AI are really high as more and more of our lives the key decisions are being made by AI agents, LLMs on a day-to-day basis. And we understand that particularly many of these LLMs are centralized with the data, the access, the control. The key question would be, what parts of AI could be decentralized? What are the pros and cons of a decentralized AI? What part of the stack can you decentralize? We know about decentralized infrastructure, but beyond that, what else could be decentralized? So Chi, I'd love to start with you first to share your thoughts about pros of decentralization for AI.
Sure. Actually, it's fun that right now I'm building decentralized AI while I come from the centralized AI world, because I have been building the Web2 and data spatial infrastructure products for about 6-7 years before Kite. But what makes me feel super excited about decentralized AI is, first of all, what does that mean? I felt like that's more, when it comes to decentralized AI, it's talk about the trust, the transparency, and the ownership. Because to me, I think centralized AI is a lot of times great in terms of efficiency, but when there's no transparency in the process, and also there's no ownership. What does that mean is when centralized organizations or companies like OpenAI and a bunch of others are using the data from internet or using the other, stuff into the foundation model building process, you don't know what's happened, and nobody really gets anything from the process, even if you are the creator of the data. So that's, to me, is where I felt super excited about decentralized AI, to bring the ownership and transparency back to people. But again, it's not, when it comes to the idealistic decentralized AI, a lot of people talk about running everything on a fully decentralized environment, such as running the model on blockchain, or even like train model on chain, such as the thing. So to us, we are trying to strike the balance. But the key focus, for example, for Kite, is really trying to focus on the proof of attributed intelligence and bring the ownership and monetization back to the broader community for AI.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of break the discussion up into two parts, right? There's the decentralized like training and then decentralized inference. So on the training side, I think it does make a lot of sense because you can, as you said, like attribute properly and incentivize the right people and compensate them fairly for their data. On the inference side, I think it's a much different story. I think centralization is more pragmatic today because, if you talk to enterprises, they're hesitant to even use like the big commercial models because they don't know what's happening with their prompts, their corporate data, et cetera. You see a lot of enterprises even running like open source locally because they don't want any data to go out. So like decentralization is like the other extreme where it's like, who knows where your prompts are going, right? On the inference side. So I think it's going to be a while before like enterprises are comfortable doing that. At least that's my perspective on it.
Talking a little bit about AI agents now, Truth Terminal was launched as a way to provide fact-checking in a very decentralized manner to all the false information that's spreading on social media these days. However, it kind of took a wrong turn where it started investing in meme coins. So where do you see agents play a role from a decentralization perspective? Are you all scared about AI agents being decentralized, or what are the applications or use cases would you say are probably the right ones or not the right ones for AI agents in this space?
Yeah, so at Google we're thinking a lot about how we can give LLMs access to on-chain data, so you can use LLMs to query the blockchain and understand what's happening on it. But I think like Truth Terminal is like a pretty interesting example, right? I think most people are not going to feel comfortable giving an agent a lot of money. Like maybe a billionaire can give an agent $50,000 without thinking about it and letting it gamble for him. But like, I think the average consumer is not ready for that kind of world yet. I think people are just understanding what agents are. I think they're going to go through this journey where like, okay, you have an agent that does some work for you, you get comfortable with it, you understand how it works, you understand like how you're in the loop, and like you have control over what's happening. And then you'll start like giving it, okay, here's $100 to buy something or $50 to make a reservation or something. But I think it's going to be a while before you like connect it to your bank account or give it like tens of thousands of dollars from a mainstream adoption point of view.
Yeah, for us, our perspective is always about whenever it's come to AI, like AI agent, is that more for AI agent for Web3 or like a Web3/blockchain for AI? So when it comes to the AI for Web3, that's in some ways no-brainer because like Nalin mentioned, you guys are trying to give Gemini access to the on-chain data so that they can help the crypto people or like the Web3 industry to make something easier. And as we all know that how at the moment, early stage, the crypto user experience that will be very helpful for us. So that in that way, I think that's very good. For example, we saw a lot of the partners that we work with are using AI agent to write code, right? Like the AI coder, but more dedicated to crypto. So they help them to write a smart contract and then do some simple, like portfolio management and everything. Of course, when it comes to very high stake management money, then that's a big trouble or early stage as well. And then when it comes to the blockchain for AI agent, the best thing we consider that's going to happen with agent and blockchain is actually blockchain offer a great payment rail underlying for the agent-to-agent payment. Because at this moment, as we know, like it's very hard for agent to get like a KYB or like a like a know your agent type of thing to get access to a credit card or so. So how do you pay an agent and all this stuff, where the account goes to. So in that case, crypto, for example, the programmable wallet offer a great way for you to even like use a one-time wallet for every payment in the process with even real time and a low cost manner.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree, like once people do start giving agents access to their money or like allocating some amount of money to an agent, the agent-to-agent payments are going to happen on crypto rails. I think it just like makes a lot of sense for that to happen. And you'll also have the transparency and the communication between these agents. So I think we're far away from actually seeing that come alive.
That's true. A lot of other things to fix first.
I don't know about if people are ready to give money to AI agents or not. I was speaking with somebody in the morning today, and he told me somebody built an agent on their platform, and that agent was already 200% up in this volatile market. So I don't know. I would love to see a show of hands. How many of you would be comfortable giving $5,000 to your AI agent to trade on your behalf? Wow. There you go. There you go. Yeah, 3, 4 hands of like 20 people. It's not bad. It's like 25% people already. So probably in a year, that'll be like 50%.
I mean, this is a crypto audience, right? So like, I think the risk profile is very different here than like a common mainstream audience. But it's exciting to see that people would be willing to do that.
That's the beauty of, by the way, crypto industry. People are usually more willing to be adopt of a future technology. So.
So tell me a little about proof of AI. Does that solve for that? Like, would it make a person like me more comfortable using an AI agent with proof of AI?
Yes and no. Yes means like we track the attribution. So the every agent, for example, like the contribution or like their parents' agent / models inference will be cryptographically verified and recorded on chain. So that means you can always go back to see what exactly happened in this process, who transferred what money, like if the agent is giving you a verifiable or verified AI output. So in that way, that's definitely bring more trust, but but we're not solving the financial side of the concern. Like what if you give your private key to the agent and the agent somehow liquidate or being fooled by other people, by other developers with a hack? Then that is something I think require advancement of other technologies as well. Yeah.
And I think beyond just the trading bots side of things, the other valuable use cases that you mentioned were, one was obviously on the coding side, Solidity. So I'm sure that's going to come up more and more. Then the others could be security, audits, etc.
Yeah.
And making the whole space more and more secure. And AI governance is also,
yeah.
I'm hearing, using agents for DAO governance, etc.
Yeah, since you're talking about governance and security, I would love to ask you a question. What do you feel like the role of Oracle in the in the AI space, especially whether the existing LLM data and other stuff can be utilized in the decentralized world?
Yeah, so on the Oracle side, the way we look at oracles is an intersection between Web 2 and Web 3, where oracles traditionally have been great at providing a lot of data for consumption on the Web 3 side from different types of smart contracts, dApps, etc. And then more and more financial institutions are now working with Chainlink on building on-chain financial applications. So recently we did a research involving Swift and Euroclear, where we looked at solving the problem of unstructured data. So as you realize that there are terabytes and terabytes of unstructured data in the world, and how could now you use LLMs to help these financial institutions make that data unstructured and then also bring it on-chain for any on-chain execution. So we started looking at that, and then we realized that because some of these unstructured data is like corporate actions, which are like hundreds of pages of PDFs, and some of this data can be very niche. Now, because of the data could be niche, there is a higher chance that the LLM could hallucinate. Now the LLM could hallucinate. How could an Oracle play a role in perhaps getting multiple LLMs to provide the same answer to you, and then comparing the answer in a vectorized format to then see which LLM is hallucinating versus which is not, and then picking the right LLM to get the right answer on-chain. And then that's what we call the golden source of record. And essentially, this really helped the financial institutions we were working with feel much more confident in using LLMs, because now they almost had a greater sense of security that for all that niche data that they are now making more structured, they have multiple LLMs output being aggregated and the correct answer being provided. So we thought this was a great kind of an example for leveraging some of that centralized aspects of LLM, but making them decentralized for a higher confidence and answer to be put on the blockchain. I don't know if you have any, that was a sign.
I think it's interesting. I think doing the aggregation for writing on an Oracle de-risks to some degree, but whenever you're dealing with non-deterministic outputs, like it's pretty risky to call it like the truth and put it on the chain, right? So like I think it helps de-risk, but I think you need another layer somewhere if you're really going to call like an LLM output. What's going on? Are we done? Is that the?
You've awakened the spirits.
It's quite distracting, I'll just say that. So I think you need another layer, right? Like some evaluation or something before you put it on the chain, not just simply aggregating. I think it does help. It's like one step. And you're seeing like, I think a common cognitive architecture now is like to send a prompt to like 10 different models, rank and sort and evaluate the results, and then use them and move forward that way. So I think this is like part of what you're talking about, but I don't think it's the complete solution.
By the way, that is where we think some of the things we are building can be helpful here, because at least one, we can help provide this end-to-end, again, like tracking of attribution from the origin of the data to, like how the data go into the model, and then the model being used for inference or using the RAG. But of course, when it's come to something like Nalin mentioned about deterministic or non-deterministic, that is where like again, not ready yet, but some interesting proposals from the crypto community about like a ZK verified model when it comes to, I'm pretty sure that this is the model you're using. Type of proof can be helpful to bring more trust in the process. But the Oracle one is a very interesting experiment to bring more, confidence.
Yeah, and talking about just a little bit about ZK proofs and just trusted computing in general, what are your thoughts about the whole aspect of IP and ethical aspects and transparency of data being used in LLMs? Any final words? I know we're about to come on time.
I don't know if we... So, I think there's obviously concerns, right? I think protocols like Story are doing a really good job of like putting IP on the chain and then like attributing throughout the different usage and compensating people across the value chain. So I think like it's a very important thing, and we'll see this being addressed by like a lot of players going forward, because you can't do AI effectively without proper attribution.
To us, that's why that drives us to build what we are building, because we consider ownership and monetization is a real thing that can be addressed by blockchain technology at this moment with some advancement. Some other decentralized AI advantage may take longer time to build, but ownership and monetization is really something we can achieve soon if we do that correctly.
Awesome. My final thought there was like using, leveraging blockchains as like a source of truth for ensuring there are checks and balances in place where you avoid the problem of garbage in, garbage out, where agents are talking to each other and they're just feeding each other garbage data. So maybe leveraging the blockchain for that. Cool. I know we're up on time, but really appreciate both thoughts today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.